started. So welcome to our orientation session for the Bachelor of Human Nutrition, and welcome to Flinders. We're part of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. So if you see nursing stand out, don't be concerned. We're part of this college, Nursing and Health Sciences, and we're in the Bachelor of Human Nutrition. So my name's Carolyn Dent, and I am the course coordinator of the Bachelor of Human Nutrition. I'm also the course coordinator of our new online degree, which starts this year, the Bachelor of Nutrition and Exercise degree. And my background is in community and public health nutrition. So I teach into, I'm a topic coordinator for a first year topic, food systems, and teach into community and public health nutrition, and another second year topic that I'll show you about called ISEP, which is individual, social and environmental perspectives of food choices. So it's really understanding the reasons why people choose to eat what they do. It's not just about an individual approach, but there's, we're affected by society and our social connections as well as the environment. And we go into a lot of detail of that. It's a really great topic. I'll see you probably through each of those. There's a first, second and third year, so I'll probably see you through the degree as well. But I'm the course coordinator, and my email address is there. I am really approachable and really happy to answer any questions or help you through anything with any queries around your study plan or things you might be, you've got sort of extra questions about or struggling in working out, or maybe you're moving from full-time to part-time study and you just need to work out how to do that. Just send me an email and we can catch up. Either can do it quickly via email or meet to look through and work out, or if you've got questions around the future directions and so on, I'm happy to do that, work through with you. As you know, we're part of our orientation week, so there's a lot of activities going on this week. So look and see what are some of the other things you might want to be involved in. Maybe just familiarising yourself with the campus and doing some campus tours to see where things are. As I was mentioning before, it's probably worthwhile. But before I go any further, I do want to acknowledge that our session today and Flinders here at Bedford Park, we're meeting on the lands of the Kaurna people, and I do want to pay my respects to elders past and present, and certainly welcome any First Nations students who are joining us either online or in person today. So and you can see on the slide the number of the different lands that or traditional owners and custodians of various lands across where our campuses are located. So we've got campuses in Darwin as well, and across some country SA areas too. So we have kind of started this a little bit by just having a bit of a chat before, but I would love to hear a bit more from you as to what's brought you, what your interest is in the degree and what you're most looking forward to learning, and even just regarding being at uni and so on. So just maybe we could just take turns in just saying, introducing yourself and what you're really looking forward to, or what's brought you to this and so on. So Hope, are you happy to start?
I did nutrition in year 11, nutrition in year 11, and I really enjoyed it, and I don't know, it was just a very interesting topic to me. And one of my friends is also doing nutrition in Sydney College, and she started last year, and she really loves it. And when she comes home, she's very into her food, very healthy minded. So
kind of inspired you a bit more,
a little bit more. It's very interesting.
Yeah. And you were saying before you are interested in moving into dietetics as well.
Yeah. We have a family friend who is a clinical dietitian at Flinders Hospital. Yeah. So I think I was talking to her, and I think I'm more leaning or thinking practice, like
Yep.
hospital
dietetics.
type stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. So I'll talk a bit more like officially about that. So it's online, but yeah, that's great. Thanks. Welcome along. Monica, what was your background, or where have you what brought you to this degree and so on?
I think similar to Hope, like I really one day want to work like in a hospital setting, so I would also like to go to dietetics one day.
Yeah.
I think just wanting to be able to help people with that can involve a lot of coping, like I said, and whatnot, and especially like with all the new research that's been coming out about a lot of new like plant-based and all that, really made me interested in kind of, well, how am I going to be able to help people with the information that's been coming out, kind of interpreting the misinformation from the actual real information.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because I think nutrition is one of those, not so evident with some other disciplines, but nutrition is one of the things where, you're bombarded with all this information, especially through social media and so on. How do you make sense of it? What is evidence-based and what is actually, just someone sprouting off their own kind of what they believe is their wisdom. So, and you can imagine how confusing it is for the general community. So yeah, being able to interpret that for people is a real, it's a great feeling to be able to help people in that way. So yeah, that's good. And so similar, so we will kind of talk about the dietetics pathway in a bit, because it sounds like it's of interest to you here. So that's good. And Emma, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, there's a lot of aspects of nutrition that I'm really fascinated by, so I don't really know like exactly where I'm going with that. But so having dealt with like disordered eating in the past and like an eating disorder, I'm really passionate about that.
Yeah.
I have a grandpa that had Alzheimer's and diabetes, and so they worked in like using nutrition in like helping with symptoms and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. And then just as myself, like the link between like mental health and exercise and nutrition and how important it is from like a holistic sort of view. So.
And that is a real growing area of research. There's a whole food and mood centre in Melbourne linked to, I think it's either Deakin or Monash University, and they're doing so much research and really linking and seeing that eating has such an effect on our mental health, and especially around the gut health, and that actually, like, there's a gut-brain axis, and there's a straight connection, and yes, so much interesting work that's coming out all about that. So yeah, it's a good area to be interested in. So great to hear, and yeah, hope that that you'll find it really interesting and helpful doing the degree. So just to give you a bit of an idea about what we're doing this morning, I'm going to start just by looking at overview of the study program and the electives, how that all works. And at 10 o'clock, we're going to move into the other room and join with the dietetics cohort, because we've got Meg Alexander, who's from the Career Hub up at the main campus, going to be talking about career planning, and it's information that's relevant to both degrees, so we thought we'd join in together. Also, Jane will talk about the student experience. I guess that's her title is Student Experience Coordinator, but what actually that means and what she's going to talk about options that you can get involved in over the course in terms of some practical nutrition activities, and also she'll introduce us to peer mentoring, so that there's students in the above years that can be mentors to you, and you've got someone else that you can talk to that's a student, as opposed to coming and talking to a lecturer about things. Then we'll come back and just finish off with any final questions before we then break and have some lunch. So that's kind of what we've got planned. Certainly, and I've picked up on, I guess, what you've been saying as well in terms of your interactions with nutrition with family members or friends, but nutrition, or what we eat, is basically one of our most important personal choices that we can be making. And a well-known nutrition scientist called Tim Spector recently said that if people's diets improved to the top 10%, you would get rid of 60 to 70% of all common diseases. So nutrition is actually really important to so many conditions, so many health issues and so on. So yeah, I'm imagining that's one of the reasons that you're here, and you'll be the next nutrition graduates who can, as this quote says, deliver quality nutrition practice within a wide range of settings. So that's our plan, is that it's not just narrowed in. So it could be nutrition in the health sector, it could be public health, health education or health promotion, and also I could add in there research as well. There's a pathway into honours and into research if that's something that really interests you as well. So many opportunities. So this degree is a 3-year full-time study degree, and you'll be learning evidence-based nutrition information so that you can promote that and help to prevent illness in communities and individuals. And as it says, be a change agent, so be that person who can help make positive changes. So as a nutritionist, there's a scope that you can work within where you can help steer people in the right direction nutritionally, so that they're actually preventing from getting to the point that they're developing chronic conditions. It's the differentiation with dietetics is that a dietitian could then work with someone who already has that condition and you're wanting to improve it or try to reverse it. So there's a lot of really important work that a nutritionist can be doing to prevent the people to on that trajectory towards further illness and so on. So as I said, you can work through in public or private sector, non-government, which is a lot of what we would call the charity organisations, Uniting Care Wesley Bowden, for example, or Anglicare, so on. They are starting to recognise that nutrition plays a part in the social conditions that they deal with. So there's sometimes work that comes up there. Obviously media, or using social media especially, or food industry and health promotion. And that's not an exhaustive list. The link there is really just to this next, what I'm showing you on the next slide. We've got, I don't know if you've come across the handbook already, but if you sort of type in through the website, the Flinders Uni handbook has all of the different degrees, and it goes through what the study plan is, as well as the overview of the degree, the admission requirements and so on. So if you're sort of wanting to get familiar with that, check that out, and you can click on any topic and look at that in more detail as well. I should say as well, as we're going through, if you've got any questions on any of the slides, just let me know so we can kind of go through that. We don't have to just ask questions at the end. That's one way to look at the whole degree and what it involves. But I'm going to walk through the study plan so that you can see how it sets out. So each year there's 8 topics, and it's divided into 4 topics each semester. They're all worth 4.5 units each, and they are multidisciplinary. So in that regard, it's not all just straight nutrition. We have obviously some science-based. We've got psychology, just a range and some health science topics to give a well-grounded knowledge and skills as you finish the degree. Have you already checked out Flow, the Flinders Learning Online? That's live this week for each of your topics as well, so you can go in and have a look at the topics that you're doing and start familiarising yourself with that. But basically that'll be your go-to place for all your information. Certainly since COVID, there was a flip from big lecture theatres full of students to having our lectures online and coming in just for the essentials like tutorials or lab sessions and so on, to one of them was the response to not having so many people all together in the one room around COVID, but also I think you'd probably recognise as well, since COVID, we have changed in the way that we do things, and a lot of people are wanting to connect more online for things. So really it's a bit of a hybrid. I mean, I love having students come in and actually I think you can get to know each other a bit better, and just the incidental questions and so on, that's a bit harder to do online. So I'm glad that the topics I'm involved in, I do have some face-to-face as well as the online work. So yeah, you'll be watching lectures that are recorded and are online, but then you have face-to-face tutorials or labs that you need to be registering into. So we can answer any questions on that in a bit if you want. So really the study plan is over 3 years. The aim is obviously that you work sequentially, so you do your first year topics. That there are prerequisites linked into that, so it's not just the whole 3 years and you can pick and choose what to do. Start with your first year topics, move to your second year and third year. So in first year it's mainly foundation topics that will give you that in-depth knowledge into how the body works and how food and nutrients are utilised and so on. So you're doing having an understanding of chemistry and physiology and the medical sciences to help understand nutrition. There's also a really helpful introduction to research and study skills topic that you do. And another key one in first year is looking at a strength-based approach to working with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and that's something that we is really important to have a really good grounding and understanding of. Traditionally in health, we've had a very deficit approach where it's all about the problems and the disparity, I guess, between statistics on health outcomes for Aboriginal people versus non-Aboriginal people, and it's not a helpful way of looking at it. We still need to look at some of those statistics, but we need to look at a strength approach to working with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander brothers and sisters and so on. So that's a really great topic that you'll be doing in first year as well. In second year, you start going into a bit more depth around the science behind what we eat, looking at some diseases and conditions as well, continuing on with research skills, and then there's physiology and biochemistry that is covered there, and that's when we introduce some elective space here, and that's where you'll make a choice based on maybe what pathway you're doing. So I'll go through that in a bit. And third year is really more some application of some of the knowledge and also some specialisations. So we have a great topic which is just for the BHN students on public communications, and that's a topic that we run with a nutrition professional who actually works in media as well, and she comes in and helps run workshops. So it's really great to kind of build up skills in actually that communication, because nutrition is one of the disciplines where it's a lot about how you communicate, what you communicate and how you communicate the information to the public and so on. So, and we're introducing a new topic starts this year, called health coaching, which I was just mentioning about before. And we're hoping even to get that micro-credentialed, which basically means that you could end up with a second badge that says you're a health coach, and that just provides options that you can practice in that area. And I think, in terms of, I don't think it's on Medicare, but it is, we're looking into kind of what that involves as far as being a private health coach. So that's something you can kind of do, an extra, feather to your bow or whatever, something that you can do there. So in terms of where to go, where these topics are, as I said, online through Flow is where you'll find the topic input, the content, the lectures or videos or whatever it is for each topic. But tutorials or labs, you could be all over the campus. So we're here down at Sturt at the moment, or you'd be, the health sciences is as you sort of just walk up the path that goes through the pine forest that brings you up to the registry area. The health sciences is just down from there as you head down to medical sciences, the med centre. Or you keep going past the lake up to the south area, which is up the hill, and that's into the, biological sciences and other science areas too. So that is kind of like, in a nutshell. But certainly, if you want to do a little tour around, that would be good. Get yourself familiar. Okay, so just a bit more detail into each of the years. This is. I'm just going to go year to year. So this is the first year topics that you hopefully have already been enrolling in. So semester one, so you got your biology topic, which is molecular basis of life. You got your research and study skills. Now general chem, if you haven't done year 12 chem or you do chem 1A, each of them, it just whatever works best for you, both qualify as working towards the degree. So hopefully you've worked that out. And psychology 1A is the other one for semester one. You'll notice there that there's no nutrition topics, and it's just the way that the timetable has worked out. Students in the past have just found it a bit frustrating that they don't have anything nutrition straight up. So I guess, I was keen to, kind of be open about that and say, you'll get to it in second semester. You've got both food systems and nutrition, physical activity and health. So recognising that some of the groundwork to nutrition is understanding some of the basic sciences, and that's it is an important step to have, but it can feel a bit like, I've just started a nutrition degree and I'm not even doing anything nutrition. But that's where I would also say make the most of both the practical nutrition activities that Jane will talk about, which is called STEW, but she'll talk about that in a bit later, as well as there's a nutrition club, which is just nutrition students both. We call Flinders Nutrition, so we include all our nutrition degrees. So you have dietetic students in there as well as human nutrition students and probably masters as well, but a nutrition club where it's just really student orientated, social, but you get to know other people studying nutrition. So another way of not feeling kind of lost, because some of the science topics, there's going to be people from all sorts of degrees that are doing that. So if you want to try and find others that are doing nutrition, going through connecting in that way would be good as well. So second semester, you can see there, food systems, that's my topic, nutrition, physical activity and health, and strength-based approach to health, as well as human bioscience. Also I think I mentioned as well that the nutrition dietetic students do exactly the same first year now. They've had that change of their course rule, so they're doing exactly the same topics. So you will get to know other dietetic students as well. Just covered what I wanted to cover there. So moving into second year, bit more detailed science. So you're looking into biochemistry, certainly continue to build your knowledge about how the body works, but within that context of medical sciences and nutrition and how it relates to our physiological health, and human physiology is part of that too. Then you sort of build up with your study skills, research study skills, and do this other topic, nutrition topic, individual, social, and environmental perspectives of food consumption, which is, it's a big mouthful, we just call it ICEP. So you'll get used to that name, and that's one that I teach into as well. And semester 2, nutrition across the life cycle and food products and preparation. Food products and prep is one of my topics as well, so I coordinate that topic, and that one as part of it, we go out to Sprout Kitchen School. Themis and Callum Han run that, and we basically use their amazing kitchen and do some practical cooking there, and understanding kind of the theory of the food science, but actually putting it into practice. And that's quite a lot of fun. We have a day and a half out there doing cooking, so that's in that topic. Then second semester is where you actually do a couple of elective topics, and so that's linked into those minors. So I'll talk about that once I've gone through the third year topics. Stop me anytime you want to ask anything. So third year, final year, you'll do the health coaching topic, which is purely just for the BHN students. Nutrients, role and function is really understanding, now that you've sort of understand a lot more about the biochemistry in the body, it's actually how those nutrients, what they're actually doing in the body and what their purpose is. And then research and study skills 3. So that's sort of the key thing is that we've got 3 different topics across the years on research and study skills. Really important skills to have, even if you're going into practice. We all need to understand about, understanding the research, and also, there's, some students who might then go into research as their kind of post-grad options as well. You do another elective topic in first semester as well as second semester. And second semester, public communications in nutrition is that one I was talking about, which again is just for the BHN students, and working with that outside or with industry, and it's been developed. The topic itself has been developed with industry, so it's very relevant to today's situations, and really good one. Public health and community nutrition is really important to see how we can actually be promoting health and nutrition. I'm in that. I teach in that topic as well, and then ISP, Independent Studies in Nutrition. This is your placement type topic. So this is a topic that you'll do a project with an industry group. It may be that you're based here at uni, or you may be out with another industry group, and you're doing a research or an independent study with them. So they become your expert advisors, but you're kind of working on a project, and it's really valuable, and it's a great way of actually sort of getting out and doing something practical. Yep.
Do you place us into that, or is that something that we have to then find?
We have options that you then choose from. So we have project options that we put to you, and you get to choose from those options something that you want to do. But I'll also add, I've got a slide in a moment, but the other thing you can use for this topic is our overseas experience. So an overseas placement, which I'll talk about in a moment. So that would then that would come under that topic. So there's a couple of different options there. You'll do another elective topic, so as I said, I'll talk about that. So these are the minors that we have at the moment for the degree. Digital health minor, ageing minor, or dietetics pathway. I will go through just quickly each of them for those especially who might be listening online. So these minors, basically they appear on your transcript. So you would have the Bachelor of Human Nutrition with a digital health minor, just a way of sort of showing that you've developed nutrition knowledge in a particular area of interest, and it might align with an industry need or, employment opportunities and so on. So we've chosen things that are very relevant to today's sort of situation. So obviously digital health is a really growing area, constantly evolving and engaging with different audiences through social media and other digital means, a lot of remote sessions. So you do topics. Each of these 3 pathways, we really recognise a general health science topic called interpersonal and interprofessional communication as being a key topic. So that's one that you'd do probably in second year. And then with digital health, you're going into telehealth, understanding that, technology, population and digital-based health. Alternatively, you might choose, ageing is another area of real growth at the moment. We are becoming such an ageing population, and healthy ageing is really, active and healthy ageing is a very key area that a lot of, our kind of the baby boomer generation are kind of wanting to age well and age healthy. And so there's a real growing market for looking at nutrition in ageing and being as healthy as possible as you're ageing. So these topics will help with that. There's nutrition and ageing, specific topic, contemporary issues in ageing societies, and ageing enterprise, rise of the silver industries, looking at some of the different sort of setups there. And then finally, there's a dietetics pathway. So if you are wanting to apply and move into the Masters of Nutrition and Dietetics and become a dietitian at the end of this journey, then the dietetics pathway would be the one that you do. So you do that interpersonal communication, as I said, and really what it's doing, the two key topics is integrative human physiology and biochemistry of human disease. They're two that build on your biochemistry and your human physiology, but are real important science-specific topics that are needed as you move into dietetics, because you're really looking at the effects of disease on the body and then how nutrition has an impact on that. So you'll do that, and then also nutrition for sports performance, which is a great topic as well. So just a note there that 3110 is the independent studies, that placement topic that needs to be taken in third year, first semester to be able to do that minor for that to fit in, whereas if you're not doing it, you might be doing that in second semester. But yeah, that is helpful. So do you have any questions at this stage on anything? No? Okay, sing out if you do. Just in terms of, I guess, expectations and what will be helpful to be able to succeed in your studies and also to really feel, I guess, connected and supported, is that you make the time to communicate with staff and other students and support each other. So there is a temptation, especially if there's a lot of online content, to just become isolated and be doing it all on your own. We're trying with the ways that we connect on Flow to really, keep people connected. But I think with your own, in terms of what you can do as well as being, assertive in asking for help. If you've got kind of struggling in a topic, contact the topic coordinator. They'd much prefer to hear from you and to help work through how to get through that rather than wait till the end and just have had no, you haven't handed things in or, and then suddenly you're coming in and in a bit of a panic. So I think we want to be able to support you as you're working through if there's things that you're finding difficult. Another key expectation is remembering that each topic actually requires, the workload is about 130 to 140 hours. That equates to about 8 to 10 hours a week. That's engaging in the learning, like online materials, sort of maybe watching the lecture recordings, completing readings, and participating in discussion and doing assessments. So just be careful not to just see the contact time and then think, I've got all this other free time. You need to really factor in, schedule yourself some study time too. You'll appreciate it if you can get it started early, having a good timetable set up, and do your work kind of understanding that everyone needs to work, and so you kind of got to work around that. But you just don't want to, as you start falling behind, it just becomes a lot harder to kind of keep up. So just encourage you in looking at that. Each of the topics will have discussion forums on the Flow site. So if you're uncertain of anything and you don't want to if it's not just a personal issue, if it's just about something to do with the topic, you can put it on the discussion forum and other students can answer, or the topic coordinator can. And also check your university email regularly. That's how all your topic coordinators will communicate with you through announcements that will come through as an email as well. So usually it's really important information. So yeah, basically we want you to succeed. We want you to be able to do well and enjoy your experience. Okay, so this is just a plug for our mobility program. This was linked, as I said, to the independent studies topic. So if you have a real interest in some cross-cultural experience in going overseas, we do have opportunities for that. At the moment, this is what we're doing this year for our third year students. There's a trip to Indonesia. It's a program in collaboration with one of the unis there, and they're spending up to 3 weeks in that country doing their selective in community nutrition. And there's also with the Fiji one, that's a program that's run through a group called Think Pacific, and that's spending 16 days in Fiji doing a nutrition and health, a public health placement, or an interprofessional placement with students that are from health sciences or an exercise physiology. So there'll be a call out towards the end of your second year for interest in that, because it will be in your third year. There's set times that they try to go in like the holiday or the uni break time, so that it doesn't affect other subjects. So, for example, this year there's one rotation is April to June, and then the other rotation is June to August. But I don't know the actual time that they're over there. They only go over there for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but then, you're doing, the topic is a whole semester topic, so then you're doing things when you're back here as well. But really great opportunity. In terms of financial support, there's financial support available to cover costs. There's some scholarships that are available, and that changes each year, so I don't know how many scholarships there are, but the other option is that you can add it to your help. It's called OS Help, and so it just sort of adds to your overall help debt. But yeah, you can have, I think the scholarships are about $3,000, but you can, if it's a little bit more, then you can top that up with the OS Help too. So anyway, just something to keep in mind, and great opportunity to work in nutrition and see, the needs in other countries as well. There's also, as I said before, opportunity to engage with a project or partner organisation here in Adelaide. So, yeah, there was a recent project with City of Marion, and also this other photo, that's from I had 2 students who did a project just down here in the Sturt Cafe. We were looking at looking at the healthy options that were there in the cafe and trying to increase the healthy options, decrease some of the unhealthy options, and we also signposted them with green stickers for healthy, and we provided some bundle options, so really trying to promote some healthy foods there. So the 2 guys on the left are the managers of the cafe, and the other 2 are the students that we had. But yeah, it was a great opportunity to get into doing something that's actually it's a real it's not just theory. You're actually doing something that is of use and of worth. So this is staffing for nutrition. These are staff members that you'll get to know through different topics that you're taking. I won't go through everyone's names, but yeah, you can see we've got quite a staffing, and we're going to try to join in with everyone, just having kind of a lunch, just eating our own lunch together, just so you can kind of like mingle and get to know some of the staff as well. But yeah, everyone's friendly and approachable, and wanting to help you to do your best through the topic. We're all located, our offices are in this campus on 3rd level over in the north wing, but basically the first step is to just contact through email to your topic coordinators, or myself as course coordinator, or the student experience coordinator, to make an appointment, or just bring up your kind of concerns. we do all of our course communication, as I said, through these announcements which come as an email, but they're all linked in. We have a flow page for nutrition, like Flinders Nutrition, so the nutrition courses. So this is where you'll see things will come up for volunteering opportunities, any professional education opportunities for you as a student, job opportunities. We promote job opportunities through there, and also other student resources. So you can go onto this page, and I've got one whole module which is just for BHN, and the study plan is there as well. So if you sort of get confused or get lost about where that is, you can look there, and other information as well. So have anyone had a look at it yet? Have you kind of found this one? Yeah, you have. Yep. And things will get added to it as the year goes on. Just a reminder of critical dates for the semester. Last day to enrol in new topics is Friday the 8th of March, so end of week 2. And then there's a census date. That's where you can withdraw from the topic with no fees owing. So that's the 29th, end of week 5. So if there's been a change of situation or whatever for you, you can withdraw and don't have to cop the fee for that topic. The 10th of May is when you can withdraw without it coming on your transcript as a fail. That's end of week 9. You've still got to pay for the topic, but it's at least you can withdraw it without the fail. And then last day to withdraw with fail is the end of week 14, so right at the end of the semester. That's just dates so that you kind of are aware of it. Hopefully you won't need to worry about any of them. I'm going to stop there for a minute before I move on to some generic Flinders orientation information. I just wanted to stop and just see how you're feeling about what I've covered as far as the degree itself and the information of the topics and so on, and just see if there's any, or even into, if I can talk about anything more about the pathway. Is there any other things that you wanted to check in or ask? No? Good. I might actually just mention, because now that I'm recorded, and we did talk about this before, that if you are interested in dietetics, the pathway is completing the BHN degree, and then it will be a 2-year Masters of Nutrition Dietetics. So it's really just 1 year extra than if you were going into the B&D. Your first 2 years are very much the same as the Bachelor of Nutrition Dietetics. You diversify a bit more in third year, but I guess I argue that you're getting some good broader knowledge and skills with your health coaching and your public communication. And then we prioritise Flinders students to then go into the Masters. So the requirements for Masters is that you've done those science topics that I just talked about with the dietetics pathway, and that your GPA is at least 5 or above, and then you'd be considered for that. So it's a fairly good road through. Okay. So just for the last 10 minutes before we get up and move into our the other room, just going to go through a few generic things around getting yourself sorted here at uni and at Flinders. So there is a Wi-Fi. Have you guys found that at all yet? Have you had a look? It's called EduRoam. So you just need to use your fan. You would have got a fan with your surname and a number. Put that in as your username, and then your password is whatever you've made up as your Flinders password, and then you can get Wi-Fi across the whole of the university. And there's some information there. Pretty handy. Hopefully you've found the new student section on the web. It's under a section called Compass, and that has information on all the information you need about how to enrol and register in classes. And if you need any help with anything specific, the Ask Flinders or Flinders Connect will be able to help you out, and they're really helpful. And if there's something they don't know, they'll check in with the topic or the course coordinator if there's some reason that something's coming up that's strange on there. So have you guys enrolled in your topics yet for this year? Great, so you found that all okay. The other one is your ID card. Have you had a go at sorted out your ID card so you can get a student? Yep. So I'm telling you all the things that you've already kind of worked out. Well done. So yeah, just it's all under the Compass again quick link section to request your ID student ID card, which is important to have. So I probably don't need to really go through this in detail, but there is the steps here to enrol in your topics and then how to register for classes. So yeah, anything that is offering some face-to-face content, you need to enrol in the class itself. And you might have already noticed that what often happens is that, you know, the popular ones or the popular days seem to get taken up first by people. So, you know, when it's opens and you're able to enrol, it's good to get on and do that earlier rather than later, because you'll end up there'll be classes that become full and you have to kind of, go into a class that maybe then you have to change your schedules around a bit more about. So worth just getting onto that as soon as you can. Okay, so the Flow or Flinders Learning Online is our learning management system. We have just last year changed over to using the Canvas platform. So some people may be calling it Canvas and not Flow. But it basically means the same learning system. Topics are already live, so they go live a week before the class commence. So you can register if you want for an intro to flow and textbook session. That's in the orientation planner. Just give you a bit more information there as well. Worth having a look at. Parking, you've probably started to see where all the different car parks are. If you're coming in on public transport, there's buses and obviously the train that comes in as well. There's also a loop bus that connects Tonsley, Sturt, the train station and up to the registry building. That kind of loops around. I think we've just changing the name. You'll probably be able to find out through some of the other work you're doing, or the looking around in orientation. But it used to be Busminder, but I think we've actually just had an email saying that they've changed. Has anyone? Do you know off the top of your head? There's a different. I haven't actually linked onto it yet, but a different app that you need to have. But then you actually see live where the bus is, because it kind of comes regularly. It's handy on those really hot days, or if you have to, not so much if you have to get to some place quick, because I kind of find that walking is quicker. But if it's pouring with rain, or if it's, really hot. But other than that, it's actually a really nice campus to walk around, and it's good you do so much sitting around. It's nice to actually get up and walk around and just check things out. So depends on what timing you've got. Parking, you do need a parking permit to park here. I think orientation week, there's probably nothing on there, but from next week, if you don't have a permit, they will fine you, unfortunately. So there's the CLO park where you can just sort of do it as you go, or the other parking options, but check out the website for more detail there. I might just stop for a moment. I think I'll just see what other thing is really key, because I'll just leave this information on, this will be available to look at, the slides will all be up on that course page under what we're doing. But I just wanted to give you a moment to, if anyone needs to go to the toilet, stretch your legs, because then we'll come back into the room at the end to go through our next bit. So let's break there and you have a little break, go for a walk, get a drink, and then we'll come back in. Cool. Okay. it's really hard to balance giving you all the information you need and not just feeling like we're bombarding you with just so much. But anyway, sometimes it's just like better to know than not know.
Yeah.
You know, you know where you're sort of. Yeah, as I said, the toilets are just down the corridor. And outside, we won't clean it up.
Oh yeah, no, I loved it that she made it to me to rewrite my necktie.
Oh.
She ended up writing it for me.
Okay, sorry, it's all right.
That's all right.
If you'd like to take a toilet break, then I might do some photographs of it. We've got another video coming shortly.
Thank you, though. Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much.
Jane, do you want to this? Do you want to?
I won't be saying much.
Oh, okay. But it's for
Sarah.
and those guys. This is your pen too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait. Just before uni. Thanks. Yeah, I know. I was so self-conscious today.
Yeah.
I was so self-conscious about it. Just about my last year. I didn't bring it. It's so like versatile. It's so much fun. I don't want my sixth grade and it's actually practical. As fun. Exactly. Like otherwise, I would only use it like during the days of the week, whatever, to work with stuff. It's like, yeah, it's alright. But like when I got it, it was like, and now it's not up to this experience.
That's pretty cool. Like, I got a little, like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I is it the sick one or is it the Flinders? The one
No,
that
it's the one.
Oh, okay, cool. Is it one's so much better than the ones with the because I've got the one with the closest road together up there. It's good, but it's a bit different.
I've got the one, I know the one you have, I've got one and it freezes every time I push the button in.
Yeah, I know. They're so shit. I was talking to someone who used to work at the one and they're like, yeah, not good. It's red though, so it's like a second year. I'll put it on there if I need
Yeah.
because I've got like,
Yeah. There. Yeah.
So like it's a thing, like it's really fun where you can see like it's so good. It kind of does like but like Jack almost not terrible, but we've been like more than yeah. No, 18. He just like, yeah, he went to Flinders, I don't know about he was naughty in high school, but he was like really
A lot of like
He's actually really good. He doesn't request like it. No, he's like, no, he actually use it for the best. It's very, it's very good. Yes. So action gallery and then Jimmy. Yeah. Yeah, try to be inclusive. Yeah, sure. Sorry. Me too. No, I tried using it and it did not help me at all. I was like, yeah, sure. I would do you have sound? Yeah. But it was the same as me. Try again. Yeah, because I tried to just load it. It was great. Because I it's actually really useful. It's so slow. It's like, then I asked someone to confirm where I was going. But yeah. Yeah, it's gross. She's still involved. Like I met with her for a couple of hours yesterday and did a lot of the handover stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Because I had no idea. Yeah, she's incredible. Absolutely amazing. Really good. Yeah, she's happy. She's very stressed. She's at the.
So much easier to
Yeah, that's she's fantastic. And she's still like involved. She's really trained. It's like basically secretary, the president, Josh. So he's like the treasurer of me and now Mariah. She's secretary. It's nice that we're kind of like working out that next year will be even better than my old last year. We're all like, so it's a completely new handover. I think what's happened to me is amazing things to show.
We've got a couple of peer mentors that are coming. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, so we're still waiting for Amy to come. But in the meantime, we've got Sarah here. So sort of being multifaceted as we heard about, she's one of the peer mentors. And so it's an opportunity for her to give you some tips on what to expect in your first year. You don't expect doing it last year, but also for you to ask any questions.
Cool. Well, where do I start? I don't know. I think I've kind of given you a little bit of pieces of advice in my presentation just then. But do you guys want to have any questions to start us off, maybe? Anyone? I got any queries? Yes. Well, oh my gosh, Jess.
Yes.
That was you. Almost forgot your
Kind
name.
of like on the flow, how you can see your modules and all of the things you're supposed to do. Is it like you work through the next week now so that it's kind of done before then, or do you do it like in the week?
I mean, you absolutely can get it done the week before. Great idea, fantastic. I mean, so the expectation is that you do complete it within the week, but if they have released it early and you can get it done, definitely recommend getting things prepared because you need to have everything done, like watch the lecture before your tutorial or your laboratory or something like that, so you're ready to go and can take any questions with you as well. So, yeah, and you understand. Yeah, of course.
Students in the
past have asked to open up, have the modules open up early. So a lot of topic coordinators will open up on the Friday of the week before, just to enable, you know, if you want to kind of, you know, do some things on the weekend before that week. Often, you know, not many topics open at too many weeks before, just so that you can kind of know where you're working on. But at least that kind of like the Friday before the week ahead, so you've kind of got all of that time to look at the lectures and look at the content, and then go on to tutorial and so on. So that's kind of how most of them work. I'm not so sure about science. They might open them up a bit early.
Yeah, no, they're about the same. I think usually Friday before.
Yeah, definitely the nutrition topics. We're generally about the Friday before we'll open up that next week.
Yeah, I know usually they release the lectures and stuff. They probably would have already for you guys the week prior to get ahead. Anyone else? Does everyone know where their classes are? No? Hope doesn't know. You don't know. So basically, if you are taking, who's doing research and study skills in person? Yeah, lots of people? Yeah, cool. So that is the only topic that you'll have on Sturt campus here. Everything else will be on Bedford Park, but as the years go on, you will be more and more on this campus, but our science topics for now are on Bedford Park. So psychology is in the law department, so if you're in the main building, it would be like on the left side of the lake, and then biology and chemistry, your laboratories and your tutorials are all on the sort of right side of the lake. If you're looking, I don't know, would that be the western side of the lake? I think so. Yeah, so definitely.
That western.
Yeah.
C is like
Yeah.
west. Yeah.
So I'd highly recommend, if you haven't already, do a little run of where your classes are, because it is very confusing, and if you're cutting it fine, it can be very scary. And also because biology, they technically say you're not allowed in 10 minutes past the start of the laboratory. You really, really got to just get there early, prepare yourself mentally. No, it's all really good. They're very, very, very nice. I'm making it seem very scary, but it's really not. It's a lot. It's especially who's straight out of high school or have just taken a gap year. Yeah. So a lot of you guys. So whatever life stage you are in, and whether you have studied before or not, who's studied before at university? Yeah, awesome. Kyle, yeah, cool. A couple of others, yeah, great. So you guys might be a bit more used to the sort of university life, but it is very new for a lot of you guys. It's time to be like independent. I think what I was going to mention before as well is that with a lot of like professional development and stuff, I think a lot of us in high school have this like, I'll only do it if my friend does it mentality. But it's time to be independent now. You're in uni. Like, you're not going to go for a job only because your friend's going for it as well. Like, if you want to do a club, join and just come by yourself, even if you don't know anyone, because that is how you make connections. That's how you're going to get further. Because even for me, like, I didn't know anyone. Who doesn't know a single person before anyone you've met today? Anyone? Yeah, lots of people. Yeah, so really, like, I was in the same position, but now I have a whole bunch of friends that I wouldn't have made if I didn't just go out there and actually do something, like actually say hello, because the other person is probably thinking the same thing and being like, oh, I'm too scared to say hello. They probably think I'm weird or whatever, but that's not true at all. Like, just say hello, be the first person to do it. And I think that is the best advice that I could give, because that's something for me that made all the difference. Is like, just say hello, just start a talking point, and you'll be a lot better off. Because even for me, I am an overachiever. I try like to do the best I can, but a lot of information I picked up was not from stuff that I had learned. It's because maybe my friend was in the right place at the right time and had learned that information that I wouldn't have known before. I think another piece of advice that I'll give as well is like attend everything. Like it might get to week 5 and a lot of people start not watching their lectures anymore, or they start not going to tutorials and things. But seriously, if you attend all your tutorials and there might be only like 5 people in the class and there's supposed to be 20, you will be so far ahead. They will tell you literally what to do for your assignment to get a HD or whatever they're looking for, and you will be definitely way better off because of it. I think that's probably another key piece of advice that I'd give. Anyone else?
Have you got any tips for students about how you organise a timetable? Like you
Yeah.
have a lot of extracurricular activities
Yeah.
as well. Do you actually use a diary, or how do you plan and think
So,
about things so things
yeah.
just don't drop off at the end of semester?
Totally.
Science.
Well, I have 5 casual jobs, so that means that my week is very different each week, right? Don't do that. Just by the way, do not do that to yourself at all. So make sure, so I have a physical calendar that has the month ahead, so I can see everything and see like what deadlines are coming up, especially for assignments and things, and have like a notes panel on the side. And yeah, I really make sure I spend like a Sunday at least just looking through everything. In the morning, part of my morning routine is like looking at my calendar, what do I have on for the day, checking any emails to make sure I've got the right time, I'm in the right place. So yeah, physical calendar for me, because a lot of the time I'll have like 3 commitments in one day and I need to make sure that there's no overlaps and I'm really mentally prepared, because otherwise it creates a lot of anxiety. So yeah, I would say definitely plan ahead, physical. But it might be easier for you to have like a Google calendar that you can access from your phone and your iPad and your laptop and everything. So if you're on the go, you're waiting for a bus, whatever, you can put something in, or just make sure you're constantly updated in that regard. Yeah, I think that's probably organisation.
Something that might be worth thinking about is in your 3rd year, when things do sort of ramp up, that might be to consider, maybe for you, Sarah, as well, reducing
that's right.
out of hours activities.
Exactly.
So it's in 1st year, 2nd year it's pretty manageable, but then once you get to 3rd year, get to the pointy end, think about your commitments and you'll have a better idea of what you're going.
Yeah, I think you have so many holidays. Like I've just been on holidays for 4 months. Like it's a long time. So I think for me, I just very quickly have nothing to do. I'm like, okay, give me all the commitments. And then they start ramping up because they have high expectations of me leading up to the uni term. And then you have to have boundaries. I know, a bit rich coming from me, but you have to have boundaries and just be like, okay, what's my commitment right now? University is my top priority. Let's see what I maybe can fit in. If it's great having like a part-time job because you have consistent hours, especially if it fits in nicely with your timetable. If you have a day off, that can be, okay, that's my working day. That's great. So yeah, I think it depends, because I think like for me, I enjoy the casual. I love the novelty of doing something different every day. But it can create for a lot of anxiety. So just really, think about balance, and also having a social life too, because it's a lot. It is a lot. So, yeah. Amy, do you want to come up, give some advice as well?
Introduce yourself, Amy. Tell us a little bit about
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm a 3rd year nutrition student as well. I started off in Bachelor of Human Nutrition as well, so a little bit about both courses. But you seem to really kind of cover everything in there. Big sort of, I'm the same, I kind of work like 2 different jobs as well. So balance is super important, just making sure that you're timetabling for the week. On a Sunday, just look at what you've got on for the week and just make sure you've got your priorities, that you're, timetabling really well, but you honestly covered everything, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone have any other questions?
Yeah.
I've got a question for Amy, because
Yeah.
you're 3rd year now, and I think experience looking back, can you think back to your first year and those science topics you did and how they start to apply later on?
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's actually really, really interesting. I feel like when you're in first year, you might think, like, we didn't do a nutrition topic for the first year, for the first semester, and I remember thinking, like, why are we doing chemistry, biology? Like, I didn't do that at school either, and I didn't see at the time why it was important, but now, like, I would not understand what we're learning now if I didn't have that background. It is super, super important. So that's why you do it. It is really, really helpful, especially like the chemistry and biology and biochemistry topics. They are super, super helpful. So just make sure you're watching your lectures because it will really help you by the time you get to even second year. Everything will really make sense. So very useful.
Yes, and there's a lot of information. Like, it's not like a stage 2 subject, if you'd say, or IB equivalent. It's like an hour of content, like they really shove it in. So if you first watch it and you're very overwhelmed, you're like, oh my goodness, this is a lot, like really, as long as you're kind of understanding the most of it, you're taking rough notes and then you can consolidate and make better notes, like you don't really need to know every single nitty-gritty little thing, but it's a really good idea to just at least understand it. I mean, for things like bio, they do kind of test you on everything, and chemistry as well, but I think you kind of start to get into like human bioscience, which they just put so much content that you do go over again in the second year, and a lot of it they don't really test you on as such, so I think it's just...
ask questions. Like,
yeah,
I
totally.
ask my lecturers so many questions and don't feel bad for doing that. So like,
right.
I wrote like messy notes, so many notes, looked back, had no idea what a lot of them meant. So just ask questions and everyone is so happy to help you. Like, don't feel bad for like sending 100 emails because everyone is very happy to help. So that's something I definitely learned in first year.
Yeah, totally.
Are you involved in any extracurricular activities or things on campus or funk?
No, not really actually, but I definitely want to look into funk. I follow their Instagram. Everything's really cool. So
Thanks.
yeah.
Well, I just did my plug for it.
Nice. But yeah, it does look very cool. So
yeah,
we
it
would
seems good.
look into that. Follow the Instagram.
Yeah.
Looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Have you talked about Stu as well? As like another random...
Yes. Do you want to mention
Yeah.
your
Sure.
involvement in Stu?
So Stu is students teach, cook and eat with you.
Students eat well.
Eat well, that's sorry. No, we okay guys, just to preface, we did make another acronym, was like SLAY or something,
That's right.
and it was very complicated. That's why I'm overcomplicating this, so for background. So basically what it is we basically take cooking classes for the international students most of the time who are often living on campus and might not really know much about cooking or have much experience. So we kind of give them like little recipes and ideas to sort of build on. That might be like a stir fry or a healthy burger or something that they might a lot of the time be maybe relying on like 2-minute noodles, which is fine in moderation, but you need some nutrition too. So that's a really good opportunity. If you hear about Stu, then it's definitely good to sign up. You don't have to take the cooking demos, just like start with. You can kind of just help out, help with the recipe development. So it's very similar to my sort of Sprout work. So it's quite easy for me in that sense, but yeah, definitely a really great way to learn because cooking is very fundamental to nutrition and dietetics as well. So yeah, definitely
So
another
I
thing
do
to
the
get
training
involved.
for that, but I actually get you as the students to run the sessions. So whether it's cooking demos, there's a supermarket tour, there's a whole range of activities, doing nutrition activities, you actually run after you've trained you up, even in first year. So if you want to get your hands and teeth into some nutrition in first semester, sign up for Stu training.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? Yeah.
So I have a question about like your lectures. How do you make sure that you're getting like the most out of your lectures and it's not just how can you absorb the information?
I just take so many notes, as many notes as I can. I started off writing really pretty notes, and you can't do that. Like, I wasted so much time by like doing pretty highlighted You can do
Don't
that
have
when
time.
studying for exams, but I feel like just keep writing. I mean, if you've got lots of time, you can watch it twice. Like watch the first one without writing notes, second time you can pause to write notes. But I just kind of let it run and just kind of write, just messy. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's quite a time-consuming process. So you do just, I think just get down what you can. A lot of the time, if I know information already, I will try not to write stuff that I definitely 100% know, just for the sake of time. Because realistically, as long as you get like messy notes, or at least you at least bare minimum watch them, I think you'll be way ahead. Because I think it becomes like very normalised not to watch your lectures, and it's terrible. Like if you just watch, I don't know how people pass, but you need to. Anyway.
The problem is when you miss 1 week.
Yeah, it's really hard to
easy
catch.
that.
Yeah, that's a very good point, is that try not to get behind. If you do have a busy week, just try and get everything done and tick it all off, because it's so easy to fall behind. And then by the end of the semester, even though you've only got like 6 weeks, holidays, you need to, just try not to get behind. And
The other thing I would say as well, especially for like the physiology topics, sort of picking up on at the end of the semester, and then maybe this year and then next year as well, definitely. I just printed out every diagram and then scribbled on the diagram, because there's so many diagrams. Just having that visually. I mean, I'm a handwritten note person, so I just printed the piece of paper out and then drew on those. Otherwise, you just again waste lots of time drawing pretty little diagrams, which is what I did in first year. So I just definitely recommend printing those ones out, or just have it on my iPad or something, just scribble onto the photos there. So
Just following on from that, would you recommend like hard copy notes or like online?
I think honestly, whatever works best for you. Like I like handwritten notes. I tried doing everything on my laptop, and I feel like I didn't take it as well. But I know some people who prefer that. So I don't know. I think it depends on what works for you and what's going to motivate you as well. Like I quite enjoy watching my lectures when I can write it down on paper. I don't know. I guess I would just say whatever you prefer. Just try both. See what works better for you. What's more time efficient as well. Yeah. What do you do?
I used to be an iPad girly. Like I loved my iPad. Because I liked being able to like move things around and stuff. But I found that I kind of wasn't taking in the information. I don't know why. I think it's just because I see like a physical page and it's kind of like a mind mapping thing. I think I'm more of a spatial kind of learner, whereas with my iPad it kind of got lost in my brain. Like I didn't consolidate it together. It probably sounds really weird what I'm trying to say, but it just didn't go into my head like that, because it's just like a spatial thing, like okay, this happens and this happens, blah blah blah. But on my iPad I didn't find that it was quite as good. I also tried doing laptop notes as well. That was fine for like psychology, I think, but it wasn't for me either. So now I'm a physical note person too. But again, it's so personalised. It's up to you.
Yeah, I completely agree with that actually. Like there'll be times when I'm revising, I'm like, oh, I remember writing that at the bottom of that page. I don't know why.
Exactly.
Or like I remember putting a big circle around that.
Yeah,
so it's like,
totally.
It kind of has that process in your brain as well. But again, that's not going to be the same for everyone. So just find what works for you. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Any other questions?
How big is the workload in comparison to like high school? Like how much of your outside life is taken up by doing study?
I think you just stay on top. I'm the same. Like in first year, I had 3 jobs as well, and I didn't find that I was getting behind. I think if you work efficiently, like I said, like when I first started, and I was spending so much time on my notes. That's when I was getting a little bit behind. If you're sort of just staying on top of it, planning out your week, I think it's really kind of good to have like at least one day a week that you're not working. Just like don't have a whole day that you're not working, and you can really kind of cram in a lot of your lectures and content and stuff. Ideally, kind of the start of the week. I think it's compared to school. I probably would say it's not as bad as year 12. I feel like year 12 is really hectic. I don't know. I feel like it's different for everyone though. It depends what you were used to doing at school, or if you had a job at school, or if you had heaps of co-curricular activities at school. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think don't feel bad if you are not working 3 jobs. It's definitely not an expectation at all. Even if you don't have a job right now, that's great. Use that time to focus on uni, get ahead, know your stuff, because it'll be awesome. How many of you guys do have like a job or 2? Yeah, lots of you. Awesome. So that's really great to like have something to do. It's nice to work towards like having a bit of money coming in as well. But yeah, uni should be your kind of big priority right now. So yeah, I agree. Just making sure you have designated days, schedule time for studying as well, because I think because I'm like very casual all over the place, it meant that I never had a consistent time to study, and that's when I started getting very lost when to get things done, basically, because I'd even work like on Sundays, so that would mean that even that a day was not available for me to get stuff done. So yeah, I think definitely schedule time to study, or like when am I going to watch this certain lecture, because I think the advantage of having lectures in person previously, not that I was around then, but was that you actually had those designated times to go and do it, whereas when they're online, you can get a bit complacent about, oh, when do I sort of fit this in? So try and put that into your schedule as well.
Most of your lectures, I think, are on your timetable anyway, even if they're not. This is what happened for us, I think. Even if they're online or if they're recorded, a lot of them will be on your timetable. So if you are someone who likes structure, you can kind of still have that as your lecture time. So usually, a lot of the time, a lot of lecturers will put up their lectures before it's on the timetable. So then you can be like, all right, Monday morning at 10 a.m. that's when I watch that lecture. So that is helpful for some people, definitely.
And I think, so some topics they do, I think for all of them actually, they tell you like how many hours should be designated to the topic. It can vary, like just depending on, it could be more, it could be less, depending on like whether you have assignments on and stuff. So yeah, it's really just about allocating that time. It's very intuitive. It's a very intuitive process. You don't really know what's going to happen until you get into it, and yeah, just sort of be like, cool, that's working really well for me, that's not, it's very intuitive,
And can I say that first topic that you do, Research and Study Skills 1, I think is really going to be about helping you get some of those good patterns into place, as well as a whole range of things.
That's actually a really important topic. You learn a lot, so listen, go to your tutorials for that. Really important, especially with referencing. You're going to reference for your entire course.
So
that's a good
know how to do it now. Yeah.
And just have somewhere really like the notes from that, especially that tutorial that's all about referencing. Just have a document where you can always access, because a lot of the time I still have to go back to that document and just check that I'm doing it all right. So yeah, that's really important for sure.
Do you know what Amy means by referencing?
The referencing style is different for like science as opposed to psychology.
I think
it's
all the same.
APA 7.
Which is, for me, it was different from high school. So just, like
same.
I said, that topic, just really pay attention. It was quite different for me, but it does stay exactly the same. I mean, for every topic that I've done, it's the same.
Because I think in high school, I just sort of like plug a URL into a like referencing generator, and I didn't even know that there was different variations of how to reference and the APA 7, whatever. So it's really important to know how to format it, but they'll go through all of that with you. It's not an expectation that you know how to do that right now.
There is a big document on the Flinders website in the library. I'm not sure. You can find it all online. It's a very cohesive document about how to do it and lots of examples on there. So if you're ever stressed about referencing, don't be. There's heaps of links about how to do it exactly. So.
Not sure if you know, but is there any opportunities to travel or exchange in
Yeah, so that's more in 4th year when you're doing placements. I know there's like Fiji, rural, like a whole bunch of places. These guys are probably better to talk to you about that kind of stuff. But in terms of exchange at the moment, I don't think so.
Do
you want to talk about the mobility program?
Yeah, I mentioned to the BHN students, so that's for BHN, it's in third year. It links with the independent studies and nutrition topic. In nutrition dietetics fourth year, you also have an independent studies topic, and you can either be doing that with an industry here in Adelaide, or you have a chance to actually go overseas and linking into. At the moment this year, we've got students going to Fiji and also Indonesia, and if you get, you can apply for a scholarship for that, or you can, the funding can come through your help, that's OS help, which you can just adds to your help debt basically. But yeah, an opportunity to go into a 2 or a 3 week time looking at a community, usually a community nutrition type project in another country. There's one where you go with other students from, so it's interprofessional, we might have exercise science students as well as dietetic and also nutrition and another discipline I think goes into that as well. So yeah, really interesting to kind of work with across other disciplines as well. But towards the end of, so for dietetic students towards the end of third year, you'll hear a bit more about it and be able to know when sort of there's an information session and you can put an application in, and for BHNs it's towards the end of second year, so that you've got that for third year. But yeah, that's a great opportunity. As far as the exchange goes, I think that is an individual basis where you find so I'm not really an expert in that area, but some students might decide they want to study overseas for a semester and find like credit topics. I'm not sure whether it's available for dietetics. I haven't seen it sort of played out too much. Do you know?
We've got one student, she's third year, she's come from Germany, she's done some credits there. The students come from other countries here, and so, but then if you go overseas, you have to pay fees as an international student, so it's going to be quite expensive. And it can be, as long as that you can meet the credits and the approved content, you could do that, organise that.
But certainly the mobility program is one way that, as I was saying, that going to Indonesia or Fiji, for example, is what they are at the moment that you might want to think about.
We've got a few more minutes, so what might be a good idea is for you to say hello to the person next to you. You probably might not have met, or the person behind you. And Amy and Sarah can sort of wander around and say hi to you as well before we break up to have some lunch. So we've organised to meet the other lecturers, academics from the Nutrition Dietetics Department on the lawns. So if you've got something to eat, or you can buy something at the cafe shortly. So
do you want to say exactly where the lawns? Which lawns?
The lawns.
So outside of the cafe, to
The courtyard,
the courtyard area.
Which is that way, I think. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, it is that way.